source of PS Performance. So today we're going to talk about a little bit of a different idea. I'm going to set the foundation for movement. And so I'm going to talk about today compound movements. So it's also referred to as core lifts or core movements in the strength and conditioning world. So what this really means is I'm moving on multiple joints and I'm targeting multiple muscle groups. So one example that this would not be is a bicep curl. So a bicep curl is mainly moving at the elbow and it's mainly targeting the bicep. So with these different lifts and movements I'm going to talk about, we're looking at a lot of different muscles and a lot of different joints. So what this first would be, starting with the lower body, would be a squat pattern. Then we have a deadlift or hinge pattern. Then for the upper body, we have a vertical push and a vertical pull. And then we have a horizontal push and a horizontal pull. So this is the very foundational pieces of movement, especially when it comes to athletic development. So with all these movements, it's really important to understand how to be stable and create stability throughout our system so that we can stay safe and we can maximize our performance and maximize our output in terms of power and strength and all the different things we care about as athletes. So starting especially with the lower body, these are really important, but starting with the feet, we want to address the feet first. So I want to make sure that I'm working on a stable foot. So what that really means is, so what this could look like in terms of a mistake is this non-stable foot. Oftentimes athletes make mistakes, so this is something I see a lot, where the foot goes in. So this is a navicular drop, or the inside of the foot, all that really means is the inside of the foot is caving in, and I'm losing what I'm going to call 3 points of contact. So I should have 3 points of contact on the balls of my feet, 1, 2, and then my heel. So also referred to as a tripod foot. So tripod foot, so that's one way I can stay really balanced and stable from the foot going up. So one way I can do that, a couple cues, is I'm going to think about screwing my feet to the ground. So this especially goes with the squat and the deadlift, but it also can be applied to other things as long as my foot is fixed to the ground. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to think about when it comes to stability. I'm going to screw my feet to the ground. What that really means is I'm thinking about having a dinner plate on the bottom of my foot, and I'm going to turn that dinner plate out, but instead of actually spinning my foot, I'm going to lock my foot to the ground to the outside. So I'm locking my foot to the ground, creating a really stable arch and stable foot. Another cue I can use as well that may work for other athletes is I'm thinking about spreading the forepart. Trying to spread the forepart this way, and that also allows me to get a stable foot. Moving up the chain, one way I can make sure my hips are stable, so my hips aren't overextended or tucked under, is I'm thinking about squeezing my glutes. So I'm squeezing my glutes together. So that's going to allow my hips to be neutral. And then moving up, I'm going to squeeze my stomach. So pulling my stomach slightly in and squeezing that. And then from there, I'm going to think about my shoulders going back and down and my chest staying tall. And then the head position is also really important. A lot of people don't pay attention to. So common mistakes with the head is that a lot of people, when they squat especially, actually deadlift as well, they'll look up. They'll move their head in this direction. So from the very top, once I create all those stable pieces, I want to keep my body in that position. So even with the head, if I'm looking straight ahead, I want to keep my head in that position in relation to my torso. So my head should always be stacked on my torso. And when I'm squatting down, for example, I should not be looking up. So it's not a great cue a lot of times to be picking a spot in front of you to look at whenever an athlete is deadlifting or squatting, because they'll a lot of times break at the neck. And so what that really means is we're not remaining neutral in the spine. We want to remain neutral or completely straight or integrated when it comes to the 3 points of contact of the back of the head, the middle of the back, and then the lower back or the glutes. Okay, so I want to remain neutral. So that's what neutral really means. So that's a word I'm going to use going forward, so then you can know exactly what that means. So for a squat, I'm going to screw my feet to the ground, squeeze my butt, tighten the stomach, shoulders are back and down, and head stays neutral. That's the same as a deadlift. So deadlift, the feet are a little bit closer. Still screw my feet to the ground, everything else goes that I just said as far as creating stability. So this allows us to be really, really stable and really, really integrated in keeping ourselves safe when we're going through these movements. So this is just an introduction to these movements. Then we'll go through them as we go forward. But this, I wanted to make sure that everybody knows what creating stability means and how to get integrated or tight. So all those words are kind of synonymous when we're doing these core lifts. Okay, so this is the best way to stay safe, best way to produce the most power and strength.